In this lesson, I want to take the decimal number 0.7 repeating and write it as a fraction and as a percent. So remember, 0.7 repeating just means 0.77777 going on forever. So first of all, for the fraction part, the main reason I'm addressing this particular example is so that you know how to deal with this type of a decimal number and how to write it as a fraction, because a few problems do ask you to do that. So for us, this is going to be just kind of a memorization problem. There are ways of figuring out what the fraction should be in a case like this, but it's a little beyond where we're at in this class at this point. So for now, I'm just going to have you memorize this. The thing I'm going to have you memorize is that if you have a decimal number that has a decimal point, then just one digit after it that repeats forever, then the denominator of that fraction is always going to be a 9. And the numerator of the fraction is going to be the digit that repeats forever. So 0.7 bar is equal to 7/9. So just to give you an idea of the pattern here, if you have 0.1 bar, that's equal to 1/9. 0.2 bar equals 2/9. So this is kind of unsatisfactory in that just memorizing something without really understanding the why behind it is not ideal. So feel free to ask your instructor about how you would show this if aside from memorizing it. And after you get done with chapter 3 in this class, you actually will have probably enough tools to understand how to do it. But for now, just memorize that. A decimal point followed by one digit that repeats forever. The bottom number is a 9. The top number is the digit that repeats. As for the percent, we have 0.7 bar. And remember that our nice shortcut for converting a decimal number to a percent is to move the decimal point to the right 2 places. Now, we have to be a little bit careful here. We have a decimal number, and it seems like I should be able to move it right 2 places, but we have to remember what this bar means. It means 7s are going on forever. So what I want you to do when you're going to move the decimal point to the right 2 places is I want you to write out what 0.7 bar really means, right? Well, it means 0.7777, and do quite a few here just to make sure you really understand what you're dealing with. So 0.7, and I put these are ellipses, just dots that indicate it just keeps going forever and ever. Okay? Well, now if I want to convert it to a percentage, I know that I am going to move that decimal point to the right 2 places. And because I've extended this out and written out a bunch of the 7s, I can now see how that works. And so that gives me 77.7777 and so on, right? ... And of course now it's a percent now that I've moved the decimal point to the right 2 places. And then once you've got this, you've got the decimal in place, you got your percent sign. Now when you have repeating digits to the right of the decimal point, go ahead and put that bar over that first one and don't write any of the others. So our percent would be 77.7% with a bar over that 7 after the decimal point. Of course, the other way that you could have done this problem is instead of working with the 0.7 with a bar, you could have used the fraction, right? 7/9, and you could have multiplied by 100% over 1. Right? Remember we did this. And then you would have 700 over 9%, which would have turned into 77 7/9%, and that's of course the same thing as 77.7 with a bar over it percent. So either one of these would be acceptable. You can do this problem either way.